And last one is your external admission controller. External admission controllers are the admission controllers that are not part of your core Kubernetes distribution, but can be added in the Kubernetes cluster to extend the customized admission controller mechanism. So these controllers are developed and maintained by the third party. So basically these external admission controllers, these are not available by default. What this means is that you can actually use the custom admission controller and then use this external admission controller in conjunction with them. These are basically the third party providers which are going to extend your functionality. So if you want to understand it from an example, this will help you better understand it. Like there is OFTK, often used in function of admission testing in Kubernetes. So basically what this does is, this OFTK is an external admission controller that offers various admission control function, including custom policies and validations. So you can actually implement the testing, you can prevent admission whether certain things are passing or not, and then take the action according to it. So this is basically not a part of Kubernetes. This is an external vendor which is providing this functionality, but then it is using the admission controllers only. That's why the name external admission controller. Similarly, there is a Elastic ECK admission controller. So this is by the Elastic Enterprise Search, Observability and APM tool, which is very famous for gathering the logs and getting all the matrices. Now they have really extended from the logs. Now they provide APM and the other search functionality as well. So you can use their admission controller to enforce the policy and the security controls specific to your Elasticsearch Enterprise product. So suppose you want to have certain policies built on your logging and the other mechanism, how the logs will be pushed, where it should be pushed, what policies should be there, how much log which users can push. So you can limit all those aspects using their admission controller using the Elasticsearch ECK admission controllers. Then there is Kubernetes policy controllers, which is KRail. Okay, again KRail is both a custom and external admission controller. Now understand this, that custom and external admission controllers are very closely related, because in custom you are actually writing something which is custom, which is not provided default by Kubernetes. It's based on some business requirement, right? And external is only like it's maintained by the third party vendor. So again, one of the controller can be both custom as well as external. Okay, because it's fulfilling your custom requirements and it might be maintained by the third party, so it becomes an external admission controller. So same is with the case for this KRail. It enforces your security policies and provides a range of check to enhance your security inside the Kubernetes cluster. So mainly the main focus of the KRails is from the security perspective, that your Kubernetes cluster is following the best security practices, which increases your overall security of the Kubernetes cluster. Next is your cert manager, which we primarily call as certificate management. This cert manager basically acts as an external admission controller for the cert manager resources. It validates the process of certificate related resources and issue certificates. So it's going to make sure that the certificates are following your policies which you have written, and then it can issue the certificates that you can use for the secure communication between your services inside the Kubernetes cluster. So that's how the cert manager, but in the cert manager also you are basically seeing that it acts as an external admission controller. Certain certificate requirements are not fulfilling, then it can block the resources like that. Okay, now KRail we already discussed, and it's basically implemented for designing the security policy. It helps to protect the cluster misconfiguration and the security vulnerabilities. Now Kubernetes itself is secure, it does not expose anything, but then there are certain misconfiguration which can make your Kubernetes cluster exposed and create certain security issues. So those can be detected by the KRail and help you to tune those things, right? So that's why KRail becomes important. Next is admission control webhooks. So various organizations and projects are going to develop these webhooks to enforce the specific policies such as your network control access, image security checks, and more. So basically you can call those webhooks, right? That is why the external admission controller can call those webhooks and then enforce their security policies that we already discussed. Okay, so these are some of the examples of your external admission controller. Now, if we have to sum up the external admission controller, we can say that it can be added to your Kubernetes cluster to enhance the security, compliance, and governance of your by implementing and enforcing the custom policies, validation, and the security controls beyond what is by default available inside the Kubernetes. So basically these kind of security checks, governance controls, right, these are not shipped along with the Kubernetes, but then they might have a use case in your case which can improve the overall security, compliances, and governance, right? So these are basically provided by the third party as an add-on. Now adding this external admission controller is going to tailor and extend the admission control policies and their specific needs and requirement and improve the overall security of your cluster. Okay, so that's how external admission controller plays a important role. Okay, so example of your custom controllers. Okay, then you can use the custom controllers for the security policies, naming convention, integrations, development, maintenance, and testing and validations, right? So this all we have already discussed. So again, these are the major admission controllers that I wanted to discuss with you, and that's all for this video. Thank you. If you do like our video, do subscribe to our channel. Thank you everyone.